prosecutor has made a good argument. However, I think she's proven the wrong things. I've taken some notes of what she said. She said that there are no known species of reindeer that can fly. She said that of eligible children, there are 378 million of them, according to the Population Bureau. If you average a rate of 3.5 children per household, that's 91.8 million homes. And one presumes there's at least one good child in every home. Santa has 31 hours to work with over Christmas if you factor in the time zones and his rate of travel. This works out to 822.6 visits, the prosecutor told you, per second. That means that Santa has 1/1000th of a second to park, get out of his sleigh, get the toys, get them down the chimney, distribute the toys, eat what's left, get back in his sleigh, and leave for the next house. When you factor in the number of stops the prosecutor said that Santa has to make, he has a total trip of 75.5 million miles. That means, the prosecutor told us, that Santa's sleigh is moving at 650 miles per second. That's 3,000 times the speed of sound. The payload on the sleigh, if you assume that every child just gets one box of Legos, is increased to a weight of 321,000 tons. For this, we would need 214,000 reindeer, because the reindeer that we know about can only carry about 300 pounds. The prosecutor summed up by saying that 353,000 tons traveling at 650 miles per second creates 1.7 quintillion joules of energy per second for each reindeer. With that energy, the lead reindeer would burst into flames immediately, and the other reindeer would be vaporized within 4.2 thousandths of a second. I might surprise you by telling you that I agree with everything the prosecutor said. Her facts are correct, or at least they're indisputable. However, she misses the point. The prosecutor spent this entire trial trying to prove that Santa Claus was not alive, or at least not alive in the way that we understand that. What she didn't prove, however, was that Santa Claus didn't exist. There are many things in our lives that aren't alive, but that in fact exist and are with us every day. Santa doesn't look the same to everyone, and he doesn't exist in the same way to everyone, but that doesn't mean that he doesn't exist at all. A person's known by what he does and by what he causes. What does Santa Claus do? Santa Claus causes children to worry, to do better in their schooling, to behave better, and to put milk and cookies out the night before Christmas. Santa Claus causes their parents to worry, to put milk and cookies out, and to realize that this is the time of the year that they can somehow give even more joy to their precious loved ones. When you're older and you see as an adult when you're at the mall, sometimes that's Santa Claus who's tapped you on the shoulder to remind you of that long-lost friend or a relative that you haven't bought a present for in some time. If you think about it, you begin to realize that in fact you're doing those very same things, and it makes you smile that your children believe that Santa Claus is doing. For these people, you are Santa Claus. It's a sad day in children's lives when they think they learn that there's no Santa Claus. It's a sad day in their parents' lives too. But I think what's more true than that is that what the children are learning is that, as the prosecutor said, Santa Claus can't travel 5,000 times the speed of sound. But they're not learning that Santa Claus doesn't exist. Maybe what we've done is change his name at a certain age. That after you're a child, Santa Claus becomes the holiday spirit. What does Santa Claus do? Well, to the poor, sometimes this is the only time we think about them. That's Santa Claus. To the children, when they're still young, Santa Claus is leaving toys. To us as adults, this is the time of the year when we're buying things for people, when we're baking things for people, when we're staying up late and wrapping things for people, only because we want to make them happy. This is the time of year when we look outwardly, just to please others. It's a lot of work, But, even as the prosecutor would admit, Santa Claus does a lot of work too. So, perhaps it's absolutely true that while Santa Claus isn't alive, as the prosecutor tried to argue, he in fact does exist. To the children of the world, he's in a sleigh, whether he's traveling 5,000 times the speed of sound or just enough that his reindeer can handle. And to the adults, he's in our hearts. Santa Claus does in fact exist. And I rest my case. Have a Merry Christmas. Hi, I'm attorney Marc Murphy, and we at Stites & Harbison support Kris Kringle and the magic of the holiday season. Show you believe and come see Music Theatre Louisville's production of Miracle on 34th Street, running December 4th to the 19th at the Kentucky Center.